I am going to read read my own book. It's called Dragonrider, The Palace of the Unknown Series Part 1. I do that because I actually don't have any ideas for other videos, and yes, I actually would like to make videos and where I read some books, and yeah. This is the description. Yeah. I think my phone is sometimes kind of slow, so yeah, sorry for that. And I'm now going to chapter 1, and then I'm beginning. Okay, now I'm gonna begin reading. I was running. I didn't know why I was running. The only thing I knew was when whatever I was running away from would catch me, I would be dead. I didn't recognize my surroundings, but I still somehow knew how to run to the right places. It was like something inside me knew this place. Suddenly I stopped. I didn't hear anything anymore. Before I heard a faint sound of something being behind me, but I didn't hear it anymore. I slowly got nervous. It was dead silent around me. It was like even the wind that was here all the time stopped. I got a strange feeling like I was being watched from behind. When I turned around, I noticed some movement for a split second, and the next thing I knew, I was heavy. Whatever was on me began to attack me with its long claws. I tried to scream, but nothing came out of my mouth. In a moment, the pain became too much, and I thought I was going to die. I woke up. I woke up screaming. I was under. When I realized that it was just a dream and that it was over, I immediately stopped screaming. My mom had a long day yesterday, and I didn't want to wake her up. When I thought back about the dream, I groaned. I already had this dream for as long as I remember, but I never got used to it. I decided that it was pretty early, but that I didn't want to go to sleep again. So I changed myself in a comfortable outfit and brushed my hair. I always loved my hair. It was long with white, but some black. It was long with white, long and white, but some black and at certain, but some black spots on certain places, and there was also a little bit blue in it. My eyes were rainbow colored, but also some white and black in it. Because it was very unusual, because my eye color was very unusual, I wore contacts. And to the ones who asked about my hair, I just said that it was dyed like that. A couple hours later, my mom came downstairs. She needed to be up early for her work. She worked as a servant for some pretty wealthy families. They were pretty strict. When my mom comes too late at work, then they will take some of her salary, and it was already just enough to live from. Those families were maybe strict, but apart from those punishments, they actually took pretty good care of their servants and families of their servants. Because most of those families couldn't afford schooling, they gave those people homeschooling every now and then. They sometimes also gave some gifts, and for people like my family, they made some space where they could live. That made us not live a too horrible life. Today I would get homeschooled by one of the sons of the family we served the most. and who was also a very good friend of mine. His name was Ferdinand. We were friends as long as we can remember. When we were young, we were always playing with each other, and luckily for us, did neither of our families have any problem with that. They were actually very happy about it because I was the only one who wanted to be friends with him. Over the years, our friendship became stronger and stronger. Because we had such a strong friendship, they decided to let him help me with my education. I always looked forward to these days because over the years, Ferdinand got more and more duties to fulfill. On this moment, I rarely saw him outside the moments that he was homeschooling me. But when we saw each other, we always made the best of it. The moment Ferdinand came in our so-called classroom, it was officially in one of the living rooms, but they decided to make it a classroom. He immediately noticed that something was bothering me. He said, "Let me guess, you had that dream again." I nodded. He was one of the only ones who I ever thought about my nightmares. The only other person who I thought about the nightmares was my mom. But I only did that once, and I didn't talk to her about it anymore after I saw how she looked when she heard it. After that, she didn't talk to me for a couple days, but on the moment she began to talk to me again, I knew that I could better let it rest for a while. But back to the lesson. This day, this lesson was about history. History was my favorite subject. We talked about the Blood Wall, a wall between vampires and half-blood vampires. Half-blood vampires are people who are half vampire and half human. This wall began on the moment that the half-blood vampires became sick of it that they were treated as less than normal while they were the same except for a few things. And we discussed some of the legends about from what we originated. After that, the lesson was already over. The end of the lesson was one of the things I hated the most, because then I needed to say goodbye again. And today the lesson was shorter because Ferdinand needed to talk to the gods. The gods were a group of elite people who guarded the Stone of Fate, a stone who decides the path you will follow to fulfill your destiny. It is always right, but it only points out the path that you need to follow to do what you are destined to do. When you are, for example, following the path of a vampire, doesn't mean that you aren't destined to become a spirit wielder. It only shows where to start. The end is all in your hands, and Ferdinand needs to attend a meeting with them to give them the list of people who will attend the ceremony this year. I'm so excited for the ceremony. I waited for it my whole life. And tomorrow's the day that my path will be decided. I know it can, for the people who want to know more about, yeah, me. I am Dutch, so sorry for when I pronounce certain things wrong or have grammar mistakes in the book. And I'm sorry this video is kinda bad quality, but it's just, this is literally the first time I recorded a video, and yeah, maybe later I will redo this, but it depends on it. I hope you liked the video apart from that.